Hello FTM Transtastic, my name is Luke, and this week we're talking about accepting your body after surgery, how you feel and relate to your body post-op. I really like this topic, and I'm really glad we're doing this topic because I actually struggled with this quite a bit, and I'm still struggling with this quite a bit, even though I'm nearly 8 months post-op. And I'm going to sort of try and explain why. I had top surgery in July. I am very happy with my results, really happy. I had periareolar with Dr. Martin, no real complaints, it's all fine and dandy, but sometimes I feel a bit weird about it. That's because I realized I was trans when I was probably 14, 15, and I realized that top surgery was possible when I was about 14, 15, 16-ish. From the moment knowing that it was possible, I knew I wanted to have top surgery. And I started researching, and all the information I could find was double incision, Dr. Garamoni. That was literally all the information that was out there. Not necessarily Dr. Garamoni, but I thought it was like him and maybe like a couple other doctors. I didn't realize that there were like surgeons all over the world. Obviously it was like early stages of research and I've learned from since then. But a lot of the information out there is for people with double incision. And because of that, when you want to do something else or have a different type of procedure, it can be very confronting. I'm so sorry about the construction. It's going to be like this for the next however many months until I move because I'm literally in the middle of the city, so found out about double incision and I researched all the double incision, and then from that moment on I had in my head I was going to have double incision. I didn't realize that there were other options. I started mentally preparing myself for that, so mentally preparing myself for like what happens after surgery when I have the scars, how I'll deal with them, what I have to do in order to prepare for top surgery and all that sort of stuff. But then I got a little bit older and it got close to actually the time when I was going to have surgery, and I realized I was going to not have double incision, I was actually going to have peri, which is a different procedure, has different requirements after surgery. There are different risks, there are different complications, it's a longer surgery. Mentally I've been preparing for this other surgery since I realized it was possible to have this other surgery. So getting to the point where I'm like, oh well, okay, I'm having another surgery, a completely different surgery to the one I had in my head, and I thought I dealt with that. And then I had my surgery, and then I was feeling really weird. I looked down at my chest, and my results weren't what I expected, even though they were what I expected. I knew I was having peri. It's not like I had any doubt that that was going to happen, but because I'd mentally prepared myself for such a long time, I'd sort of conditioned myself into, thinking about it. Like whenever I was dreaming about top surgery, whenever I thought about top surgery, whenever I was daydreaming, or like when I was going to bed and sort of like thinking about what it would be like to wake up from surgery, I always had in my head that it was double incision, even after knowing that I was going to have peri. I don't know if that makes any sense. My surgery experience was different to how I expected it to be, and because of that, it kind of messed with my mind a little bit more than I thought it would. Coming out of surgery and looking down at my chest, and all I could see were bandages, but there were no scars or anything, because I had quite a small chest pre-surgery. It was almost like the same amount, because of all the swelling and everything, as pre-op. So it was like I had a reduction or something. Bandages over my nipples so I couldn't really see them, and then there was just like swelling everywhere. So I would like look down and be like, well, it's almost like I haven't had surgery, even though I had surgery, and it's not like there wasn't, but like I didn't have that mental cue of like the incision. So even when you see the swelling, you're like, oh, okay, I've had surgery. If you've got like a size G cup chest, for example, you've got a large chest, obviously when you look down and your chest is flat, even if it's got a little bit of swelling, you're still gonna be like, holy shit, my chest is flat. Whereas for me, because my chest was so small to begin with, it was like, oh dear, okay, nothing's changed, even though like stuff had, but it's because the difference wasn't as extreme as I was expecting it to be. Still, even now, my relationship with my chest is not what I expected it to be. I expected that once I had top surgery, I would have no chest dysphoria whatsoever at all, and that is not the case, I still feel a little bit iffy about my nipples sometimes. I think that they're a little bit big, and my areolas are quite wide, and they've spread out, and, I've got a little bit of a scar on the top of my chest, and that kind of bothers me a little bit, and on this side, I've got a little bit more tissue left over than on this side. I can have a revision and get it sorted if I really want to, but obviously it's not nagging all the time, so it's not really, it's like this awkward in between where it's like I kind of am bothered by it, but I'm not bothered enough to be like actively seeking treatment and fixing it, if that makes sense. And I'm pretty sure that this is really common with lots of people. Surgery is not what you expect it's going to be, and I know everyone says that, and everyone's like, oh yeah, you don't expect what top surgery is going to be like, but you really don't. Like, you have these mental pictures of what it's going to be, and you watch YouTube and you see people having their reveals, and you see everyone, talking about their results and everything like that, and you see it and you expect yourself to be like that, but when it comes to you, it's not how it comes across on the screen. That can make your recovery and how you deal with your body and how you react to surgery a bit confusing. I sort of felt bad as well, because I was feeling kind of bad about my chest, like not necessarily like dysphoria, but I felt a little bit like uncomfortable with my chest because it was so swollen and all this and da da da. But then I felt bad because I was like, I've had top surgery, you know, I've spent thousands of dollars on this procedure, and I'm so grateful that I'm actually at this point and I managed to get to this point, and there's so many other people that would like kill to be in my position. But I'm complaining. I just felt really bad about it, but then at the same time, I have every right to have those feelings, and it's not my fault that I feel that way. As for advice, you just gotta give it time. Over time, it gets easier. As you recover, things feel better and things get easier, you know, especially like with double incision. I know that, like, you know, seeing the scars for the first time would be very scary. Trust me, they fade over time. Even if they don't fade completely, they do fade. That's just what happens with scars. Don't think that what it looks like right now, it's how it's always going to be. You've got to take care of yourself mentally after this, because it's not only just like a physical recovery from surgery, there's also a mental recovery as well. You spent so much energy and so much time focusing on this part of your body that is no longer an issue. That energy is going to have to go somewhere, and those feelings are going to go somewhere, even if you don't know where they're going. That's why lots of people talk about, you know, post-op depression and, you know, feeling blue or down after surgery. A lot of the time, this is something we've been looking forward to, and something we've been planning for years, months, ages, and it's finally come. And now it's done, and it's like, well, okay, now what do I do? Take care of yourself in that time, because it can be very confronting and very difficult, and it's completely understandable that it's difficult and confronting. Like, this is a big change in your life. Think about the future, you know, because right now when you're sitting in your recovery, or you're still sort of coming to terms with how you feel, and you're having your low day and you feel a little bit shitty about your chest, and you feel like, oh, okay, this isn't exactly what I expected it to be, just think about all of the things that you can do. Whenever I feel a little bit down about nipple size, or I feel a little bit weird about my chest, I just think about the fact that I can wear a singlet now, and I don't need to worry about having anything underneath. Or I can wear a white shirt and someone can pour water on me, for example, and it's okay, it doesn't really matter, you know, my binder's not going to show. Thinking about things that you were looking forward to, I found really helps. So just sort of focus on the good and focus on that, but this feeling will pass. It's okay, it gets easier in time, and as you become more comfortable with your new body, because it is like getting a new body, you know, you wake up and your body's not like how it has been for the past however many years of your life. Adjusting to that change, physically and mentally, is important, and give yourself time to do that, and don't beat yourself up over it if you aren't able to do it right away. I'm gonna leave it here because I've been talking for like way too long. I will see you guys next time. Bye.